Hi there, Nabil. My name is Ellen. I will be correcting your essay today. I'm very happy to see that you have sent us an essay for correction. So let's take a look at what you've written here so we can help you progress with IELTS. The topic is international marketing. Let's see what you said. Globalization is a clear example of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, many economists deem that owing to an open economy, developing countries could leverage the cutting-edge technologies of industrialized nations and therefore improve their infrastructure, providing new job opportunities. On the other hand, a school of thought often claimed that allowing foreign companies to set up their business is detrimental to the host nation. This essay will discuss these points of view and conclude that the benefits related to the shared economy far outweigh the possible economic repercussions. Okay, this is lovely. A lot of really nice high-level language, high-level vocabulary. You got into this territory where I was a little worried that the sentence became overly complex. Okay, and while complex grammar is a wonderful thing to have, and it's important if you're aiming for one of those higher band scores, it's important that complex doesn't become complicated. Okay, so it should be easy to read and it should be easy to understand the sentence despite the complexity. Okay, so you want to be careful that you're on the right side of that line and that your language is complex but not necessarily complicated. Okay, so this was very good. You had on the one hand, on the other hand, and you very seamlessly said what your point of view was. So I like that. It's important to include your point of view in the beginning. So good. So that's pretty much it. Just one or two little other grammatical things that we've already talked about. I didn't like this here, often claimed. That should have been often claims. Often is a time marker for the present simple. I didn't understand why you had the past simple. That was a little strange to me. So that's another thing I would have changed it as well. All right, let's move on to your body paragraphs and see how you developed your points of view. It has often been asserted that there is a positive correlation between economic progress and technology development. In other words, there are low probabilities that poor cities might be able to increase the well-being of their lower-class citizens without investing in research and development. According to recent studies released by the International Monetary Fund, over 80% of Moroccan startup executives had set up innovative businesses in Casablanca after obtaining a master's degree in business and administration in French universities, majoring in emerging technologies. It is clear that, you don't need a comma here, it is clear that as a result of globalization, student exchange programs among higher education bodies provide positive outcomes to developing countries, since students could first extend their knowledge abroad about the latest trend in technology engines, and after that apply this new information in their home country. All right, now Nabil, this isn't really on topic. We're talking about international marketing. I don't understand where you've talked about international marketing here. In fact, I had a really difficult time trying to understand what your central idea was. Remember that each paragraph needs to have a central idea. Okay, and that central idea needs to relate directly to some portion of the question that has been asked of you. So let me just do a quick read through of this again. Okay, so I read your introduction again, as well as this body paragraph. And the thing is that I feel like there is some misunderstanding of what the task is. Let's just kind of revisit what the prompt says. International marketing is sometimes seen as invasive and an intrusion into the country in question. Others argue that it is a necessary and economical form of education, in addition to XYZ. So, you talked about globalization here, okay? You talked about how it's wonderful because we can use cutting-edge technology and therefore improve infrastructure. And then the idea about setting up businesses could be detrimental. So the first thing, reading it again, is that it looks like you're talking more about globalization and not international marketing. International marketing fits somewhere under the umbrella of globalization, but they are not one and the same. They are not synonymous. So right away, it feels like you've gone far too general with this and are not talking about international marketing, okay? Now, that becomes even clearer to me reading this. where I don't really know what this central idea is. I've read it now a couple of times at least. You're talking about the economic progress and technology development, okay? And then, you start talking about master's degrees and innovative businesses, and this has nothing to do with marketing, though. So I don't understand how any of this is related to anything. The language is lovely, the grammar, the vocabulary, all of it's very lovely, but it feels so off topic that an examiner might even be tempted to say that maybe this is a memorized response, that, maybe this is just something that you've learned by heart, because it really doesn't seem any way related to the question at hand. There's nothing about marketing in this paragraph. Okay? So it definitely feels like an office topic response. Let's move on to the next paragraph. Regarding the side effects of international marketing, there it is, good. It is generally argued that the financial and intellectual resources of local enterprises cannot compete with those of multinational firms. Perfect. An illustration of this point is a highly debated scientific paper published by The Guardian, where a group of researchers found that the majority of small local organizations within the food and beverage economic sectors went bankrupt after multinational corporations such as McDonald's and Burger King had established their own fast food restaurants in the host nation. It is evident that in some cases, global marketing might have negative effects for the local industry and be considered counterproductive. All right, now this is absolutely about international marketing. This is what I was expecting a little more of. So this is definitely on topic. It felt a little underdeveloped. Okay, you did say that they can't compete, the local businesses can't compete with multinational firms. You then said that, okay, guess what? They became bankrupt. But I really would have liked to see a little bit more about how this is intrusive. Great, the businesses can't compete. Okay, well, you could have told me a little bit more about, maybe why the multinationals have, like, how do they take all of this money and really basically shut out the competition from these smaller goods? And also, what about the people themselves? Okay, because you talked about it being invasive. I get that. But what about, why do you think that the citizens of a country might resent this? Not just the business owners of the small businesses, but what about people in general, the society? Why might they resent this and feel this is intrusive and invasive? All right, so that's something I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more of. Let's look at your conclusion. In conclusion, in many poor countries, there is a tremendous necessity to, not faster, that's not a right word. You could have said to quicken or to speed up their economic growth. International marketing could be the most sustainable solution since it could allow, no, it could, how about this? Since it could educate the young adults through student exchange programs in collaboration with advanced economies and fulfill the potential so that they will acquire the necessary skills to innovate and foster the economy of their home country economy. Okay, so now I understand what you were trying to say. You were saying that young adult exchange programs are an example of international marketing. That's what I'm understanding here. This was really not clear, okay? And it would have been nice if you had just tied in some of the language that we wanted, like, oh, this is like the best form of marketing because it's, it's non-invasive. It's, education really does allow one to market under the, lovely umbrella of education. You can pass messages on and you can teach things but you didn't talk really about, you didn't talk about culture, you didn't talk about language, so it still feels off topic. Even though now I understand what you were trying to do, it still feels a little bit off topic, okay? Alrighty. So what I'm seeing in this essay essentially, Nabil, is some excellent writing in terms of grammar, in terms of language, in terms of vocabulary, all of that is really, really, really very, very well controlled, very nice high level, but there is definitely a weakness with task achievement. You weren't able to stay faithful to the task and directly answer it throughout the essay. And that first paragraph, like I said, was really rather troublesome for me because it lacked coherence. I didn't really understand what you were talking about there. And so that's something I'd like to see you work on. If you're finding that this feedback is helpful and you think that it can help you improve your writing, then I would like to suggest to you a couple of the different options that we can continue to work together. One of them is the essay correction package, where you would continue to get feedback from one of us on your essays so that we can help you improve and cover some of these areas that show up as weaknesses. So that's one thing I'd like to suggest to you. You'll find on the website that there are other packages as well, but I definitely would like to help you because I think that you just need some guidance to really help you understand how to answer the task appropriately. So I think it's something that can be done relatively quickly. So see if that's something you can do. I look forward to working with you. Lots of luck to you.